What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So yes, the bill for that $1.2 trillion infrastructure package, well, that passed the Senate just a short while ago. This bill, it actually passed with a vote of 67 yeses to 32 noes. So this actually included all 50 Democrats voted in support of this and also 17 Republicans. That's actually pretty good. However, one thing I just want to point out is this doesn't mean the bill is going to be kicked over to the House and it's going to be voted on. No, this was just a procedural vote to pretty much open debate, and now it will allow the amendment of the bill. So all lawmakers can come in and provide certain amendments and modifications. That's essentially what it is. It doesn't mean it technically passed. And once the final vote happens in the Senate, which again, right now the Senate is trying to push this and get it done before they go on recess, which is on August 8th. So, got about 11 days until that happens. And once they go on recess, they'll be on recess for 5 weeks. Even though Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has stated that he would suspend or delay the summer recess by possibly 2 weeks if they can't get this figured out before then. So that's also a possibility. But this does mean that getting the bipartisan bill passed and the start of the budget resolution bill, this has to be done quickly. This needs to be done as quickly as possible. And again, we are 11 days away. That is not a lot of time. The hardest part about all this right now, according to some reports, is that lawmakers cannot agree on what to include into the bills, and they can't agree on the language, the verbiage. That's a problem. And all the fighting over the bipartisan bill, which is that $1.2 trillion stimulus pack or infrastructure package, well, this is making it very difficult for the next bill to get done. Again, 67 to 32 is a pretty substantial number. However, all it takes is 8 Republicans to back out of the deal once it comes to the finalization of it. So there is a chance that this bill doesn't pass through the Senate. Again, it still has to go through debate. Now, Bernie Sanders, okay, he's the one progressive in the Senate. He told reporters today that the budget reconciliation bill, it will clear the Senate in September. That's his expectation. So, just because we're going to see a vote on the budget reconciliation bill, or actually a budget resolution with reconciliation instructions, that's the technical term. Even though we're going to see this, chances are before the Senate goes on recess, don't expect anything to get done. Don't expect any additional assistance before September. September is most likely when this all passes. So just keep that in mind. Now, according to moderates, okay, I just want to break this down for you because this is where things get very confusing. According to moderates, this $3.5 trillion infrastructure package is not going to be close to $3.5 trillion. Expectations are we are going to see something closer to $2 to $2.5 trillion. So they're going to take off a whole $1 to $1.5 trillion right off the top. So if you are expecting or hoping for a stimulus check, just understand that's probably out of the question. What was it, 167 million Americans received a stimulus check for that $1,400 one through the American Rescue Plan. Well, chances are 167 million people will not get the next stimulus check. If there is one, according to reports, this one would probably be about $1,000 and would go to roughly 25 million people. That would be it. So, some also are saying that a stimulus check is most likely out. Free meals for school-age children is probably gone. Massive immigration reform, well, this is seriously in question. And the Medicare expansion for bringing the age from 65 down to 60, that is probably gone as well. However, the good news is Medicare expansion to include vision, dental, and hearing, those 3 priorities, that is most likely going to be included. So at least that is good. But why is this? Here's the reason why. Today we learned that Democrats, they were not happy with this roughly $1.2 trillion infrastructure package because it is not what they wanted. They keep on dropping the price. Republicans keep on lowering their offer, and Democrats keep accepting. Remember what I told you earlier this week, is that we kept on hearing the Democrats and many lawmakers say, well, it's better than nothing. Well, this is essentially what we got again today. They were saying, well, it's better than nothing. Simply put, it's better to have some infrastructure than no infrastructure. So, it's better than nothing. Well, here's the issue. Reports are indicating that the reason for this lowering of the offer was because Democrats had the understanding, at least this was earlier today and things ultimately shifted like they always do, but Democrats were under the impression that if they agreed to this lower offer that the Republican Party was putting in front of them of $1.2 trillion, but it's actually less new money, right? If they agreed on this, then centrists like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, they would ultimately support the $3.5 trillion infrastructure package the way it stands right now. Again, we just have the framework. Well, as it always does, this isn't the case anymore. Things changed. What we know is that today, Senator Kyrsten Sinema out of Arizona, she had this to say, and I quote, "I have also made clear that while I will support beginning this process, I do not support a bill that costs $3.5 trillion. And in the coming months, I will work in good faith to develop this legislation with my colleagues and the administration to strengthen Arizona's economy and help Arizona's everyday families get ahead." And this is what the many progressives right now are extremely upset about, is they came into this with the understanding of, all right, we will agree to this, we will help you pass this bill as long as Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema do not get in our way when we try to pass that $3.5 trillion infrastructure package. Well, normally, we would see probably a couple weeks go by and then the Joe Manchins would come out and say, yeah, I don't really like it, it's too big, too expensive, we need some bipartisan support here. Well, it took less than 2 hours and Kyrsten Sinema already broke down progressives' plans. Now, what we know right now is that there is a lot more in the potential $3.5 trillion infrastructure package than we even know about. There's a lot more that will be pushed into that and will be, some will try to include. But here's the problem. Everybody seems to be dropping their price, and right now it does not matter to Democrats that the price is dropping. It does not matter. Progressives keep on pushing for more, but Democrats keep saying, you will get it done. We will get it done. Don't worry. Let's just get this one passed and we will pass the next one. But Republicans, okay, and here's where things get really tricky. Republicans are going to use the debt ceiling. They're going to use that to their advantage, and they're going to try to get the Democrats to lower their bill, lower their $3.5 trillion infrastructure package, lower it down to 2, maybe even less than that. You just make it as small as possible, and in exchange, they will go and increase the debt ceiling, which according to Janet Yellen needs to be done by August 2nd. Well, that is what, in 5 days, 4 days? It's not a long ways away. We need this. We need this. And now Republicans have a lot more power. They actually have a lot of power. And this is the problem Democrats are facing right now. So, if we think the price is going to drop below $3.5 trillion, well, chances are it is. So if you see all these reports coming out that $3.5 trillion is off the table, well, that's most likely the case. And that's the case because that's exactly what Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin are planning to do. And even though they've said that they will support the bill, it wasn't until the day that Kyrsten Sinema said, I will support a bill, or I will not support a bill that's $3.5 trillion. Joe Manchin, he initially supported a bill for $2 trillion. But Bernie Sanders, he wants something about $6 trillion. So they came to the understanding $3.5 trillion is the way to start. Well, we will see if we get any closer, but as of right now, things are not looking good. So, as of today, the chances of seeing a stimulus check are very unlikely. However, reports are indicating, and this is where things get very complicated. Other reports are indicating that lawmakers want to see the lowest income earners get some additional help. They say that these are the ones that are hurting the most. These are the ones that would be impacted the most with a smaller direct payment, again, if we see something about $500 to $1,000, per person, the lower income earners are the ones that are going to see the biggest benefit from this, because $1,000 in many cases is going to pretty much be a 1 month salary for many of these people. So what we are hearing is that reports over the past couple weeks are indicating that roughly $25 million or 25 million people would qualify based on their estimates as the lowest income earners. So like I said before, instead of 167 million people receiving this, about 25 million people would get this payment. So a direct payment or a stimulus check or cash payment or cash deposit or whatever you want to call it. Okay, this additional assistance of $1,000 per person for 25 million people would cost $25 billion. So this is one of the reasons why, according to a few reports today and over the past few days, is that one of the reasons why some Democrats are so upset that we are going to be using about $200 billion of the previously allocated stimulus funds for this bipartisan infrastructure deal. The reason why they're fairly upset about this is because, again, it's only going to cost $25 billion to give a $1,000 stimulus check to 25 million Americans. And so this is what they're saying, is that we have people that are very low income earners, people that are on Social Security, veterans, right, that would qualify for this. They qualify for this. That $1,000 would be extremely beneficial. And it could help people actually stay alive. It would put food on the table, keep a roof over their head, give them the medications that they need. It would allow them to pay for these. And so, what I'm telling you right now, and again, progressives are extremely upset, but they're going to continue to fight. Today, Senator Bernie Sanders, he did tell reporters that over the next couple days, he will be speaking with House progressives who are balking at the idea of a slimmer party line bill. And even Senator Christopher Murphy said that, and I quote, "If it's under $3.5 trillion, I'm not sure you get a budget resolution. If it's under $3.5 trillion, you have to get 50 votes. And this is the problem. In the Senate, if it's under $3.5 trillion, there will be some Democrats that do not support it. And I can tell you right now, all Republicans will vote against this, no matter how low this bill goes. So we will see what happens, but as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and fill you in on the latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.